One day, the world changed forever. Humans tried to stop global warming by releasing a chemical into the atmosphere, but that experiment didn't save the planet.
This story begins in a future where the Earth has become completely frozen. Many years earlier, scientists attempted to stop global warming by releasing a powerful chemical into the atmosphere. The plan was supposed to cool the planet and restore balance to the climate. But something went terribly wrong. Instead of stabilizing the Earth's temperature, the chemical caused the entire planet to freeze uncontrollably. Temperatures dropped to unimaginable levels, oceans turned into solid ice, and almost every form of life on Earth was wiped out. Human civilization collapsed. Cities became frozen ruins buried under endless snow. Only a small number of people managed to survive. And those survivors now live inside a massive train called Snowpiercer. This train was designed by a mysterious and brilliant engineer named Wilford. It is a self-sustaining machine that never stops moving. The train continuously travels around the entire planet, circling the globe along a massive railway system. Inside the train, everything humanity needs to survive has been carefully built into the different train cars. There are cars for food production, water systems, medical care, and even schools. In theory, this train is the last hope for human civilization. But inside Snowpiercer, the world is far from equal. The train is divided by a strict class system. At the very front of the train live the wealthy passengers, the people who originally bought expensive tickets before the disaster happened. These passengers enjoy comfortable living conditions. They eat high-quality food, drink expensive alcohol, attend parties, and enjoy entertainment. To them, life inside the train feels almost normal. But at the very back of the train lies a completely different world. This area is known as the tail section. Here live the poorest passengers, the people who forced their way onto the train at the last moment when the world was collapsing. They were never supposed to be there. Because of this, they are treated like unwanted parasites. The conditions in the tail section are terrible. People are packed together in dark, dirty spaces. They have no beds, no privacy, and almost no freedom. Armed guards constantly watch them, making sure they never attempt to move towards the front of the train. Food is extremely limited. Every day, the tail section passengers are given a strange black block known as a protein bar. No one knows exactly what it is made from, but it is the only thing keeping them alive. Years pass like this. The people in the tail section slowly lose hope. Children grow up knowing nothing but hunger and oppression. Many people begin to believe that their situation will never change. But among them, there is one man who refuses to accept this fate. His name is Curtis. Curtis has spent years observing the train and thinking about a way to fight back. He believes the system inside Snowpiercer is deeply unfair.
While the rich live in luxury, the people in the tail section suffer and starve. Curtis knows that if nothing changes, the people in the back will eventually die. So he begins secretly planning a revolution. Curtis is not alone. He is supported by an older man named Gilliam, who is respected by everyone in the tail section. Gilliam acts like a mentor to Curtis, helping guide him and encouraging him to stand up against the system. Together, they begin organizing the passengers in the tail section. Their goal is simple but dangerous. They want to fight their way through the train, all the way to the front. If they can reach the engine, they might be able to take control of Snowpiercer and change the system forever. But doing this will not be easy. Between the tail section and the engine are dozens of train cars filled with guards and security forces. Many people will die before they ever reach the front. Still, the people of the tail section are desperate. They have nothing left to lose. Finally, the day of the revolution arrives. Curtis and the others launch a surprise attack against the guards controlling the tail section. A brutal fight breaks out. Despite their poor conditions, the people of the tail section manage to overpower the guards. For the first time in many years, the gates separating them from the rest of the train open. Curtis leads the group forward. They step into the next train car. And with that single step, the revolution officially begins. As they move forward through the train, they quickly realize that the world beyond the tail section is very different from what they expected. Each train car reveals something new. Some cars contain massive food storage areas. Others contain gardens where plants are grown to produce fresh vegetables. There are even train cars filled with fish tanks used for farming seafood. For the first time, the people from the tail section realized just how much abundance exists on Snowpiercer. While they were starving in the back of the train, the passengers in the front had access to real food and comfortable lives. This discovery only strengthens Curtis's determination. If the train truly has enough resources, then the suffering in the tail section was never necessary. It was simply part of a system designed to keep the lower classes under control.
According to him, the population of the train must be carefully controlled. If there are too many people, the resources will run out and everyone will die. Because of this, occasional rebellions were actually part of the plan. Wilford admits that previous uprisings inside the train were secretly allowed to happen. These revolutions reduced the population and restored balance to the system. In other words, the suffering and deaths of the people in the tail section were never accidents. They were necessary sacrifices to maintain order. Curtis is horrified by this revelation. Everything he believed about the revolution suddenly feels meaningless. But Wilford has one final surprise. He offers Curtis a position. Wilford wants Curtis to take his place as the new leader of Snowpiercer. According to him, Curtis understands the system better than anyone else. If Curtis accepts the role, he will become the new guardian of the engine. For a moment, Curtis considers the offer. But before he can make a decision, something unexpected happens. Elsewhere on the train, two other passengers, Namgoong and his daughter Yona, have been working on a dangerous plan. Namgoong had earlier explained that the train's doors could be opened using explosive charges. He believed that the world outside the train might no longer be completely frozen. So he decides to test that theory. Namgoong triggers an explosion that blasts open one of the train's outer doors.